Time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. A frontal system and a wave of low pressure will bring another round of rain, locally heavy, with isolated instances of flash flooding across the Northeast. Meanwhile, strong winds and low humidity levels could result in rapid spread of fires that initiate across portions of Montana into the interior Pacific Northwest. In addition, late summer temperatures forecast for the heartland. Closer to home, there is a slight chance for thunderstorms on Thursday and Friday. Otherwise, quiet weather conditions can be expected. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. Next Thursday, September 28th at 6 p.m., the Republican Party of Otero County is bringing the ballot to you. Every Republican on the November 2023 ballot has been invited to attend in order to introduce themselves to you. This is not a debate. This will be an initial meet and greet. Ballot questions could also be discussed. You're also invited to bring your best dish to contribute to a potluck. This will be happening again on Thursday, September 28th, 6 p.m. at the corner of Fairgrounds and White Sands. This sounds like a great time because nothing is more fun than a room full of Republicans and politicians. Keep Alamogordo Beautiful is looking for youth groups. Read that, groups catering to individuals under 21 in order to assist with the Keep Alamogordo Beautiful Youth Group Partnership. We spoke with Executive Director Sven Sears.
Keep Alamogordo Beautiful received a grant this year that provides funding to be able to help out youth groups around Alamogordo to complete different projects for Alamogordo, like whether it's beautification projects, planting trees, flowers, painting, graffiti removal. Any youth group that wants to get involved, there's an opportunity at getting some funding.
Through this partnership, groups can earn up to $300 per event simply by participating in beautification projects around the city. For more information, check out keepalamogordobeautiful.org or contact the office at 575-439-4250. Keep Tularosa Beautiful has an event happening next week.
Keep Tularosa Beautiful will be having a cleanup on Saturday, 9/23/23 at the Tularosa truck stop from 9 a.m. till 10:30 a.m. Please come by and all your trash bags, gloves, grabbers, and everything else will be supplied, and we will be giving away some T-shirts. Thank you.
Rusty Hilton speaking with KALH Radio. For more information, shoot an email to keeptularosabeautiful@yahoo.com. The annual Veterans Day Parade is just around the corner.
We have contacted the Chamber of Commerce, and the application form is on their website, and you can fill it out online and just, leave it with them, or you can download it and fax it to them, or you can drop it off at the Chamber of Commerce.
Richard McElderry speaking with Crazy Radio. The Tularosa National Honor Society's Pancake Breakfast is coming up on Saturday the 30th. We spoke with Melanie Boussier, affectionately known by students as Miss B.
So breakfast plates are $10 a plate, and that comes with your choice of plain pancakes, blueberry pancakes, or chocolate chip pancakes. And like I said, some scrambled eggs and your choice of bacon or sausage.
It is important to support these students. And again, the event is on September 30th. The Village of Tularosa is having a meeting tomorrow at 6 p.m. You can check out the agenda and all associated documents by visiting villageoftularosa.com. Attention Tularosa High School juniors and seniors, as well as parents and guardians. A representative will be at the high school next Monday, September 25th, for graduation and class ring orders. Be advised. Well, today is Tuesday, time for an introspection with Pastor Johnny Walker.
This is Johnny Walker with this week's introspection. Just giving you something to think about. As we approach the upcoming elections, I want to remind you of the power you hold within your hands, the power to shape the future of our great nation. Throughout this campaign season, candidates will vie for your support. Their promises will fill the air with hope, ambition, and determination. And while every vote counts, let us not forget the significance of our responsibility after the election. In these turbulent times, it is paramount that we elect leaders who not only seek our vote, but who will also take care of each and every one of you. Your voice, your dreams, and your aspirations should not vanish into the abyss once the cherished ballot has been cast. You are more than a vote. You are the heart and the soul of this community, the backbone of a democracy that thrives on your active engagement and the future that we are building together. Your vote matters, but do you? Too often politicians come knocking on doors, shaking hands and promising the world during election cycles, only to disappear once the victory is claimed. We must not allow this practice to continue. Hold those running for office accountable to the commitments they make. Prioritize their track record and integrity and question their loyalty to your values, your hopes, and your dreams. Do not settle for mere rhetoric. Demand real change, real progress that will uplift all of us, not just a privileged few. Let us not be swayed by empty promises or short-term gain. Let us instead focus on the long-term impact and hold our leaders accountable. In the coming weeks and months, listen carefully, examine their plans, and judge them not only by their speeches, but by their actions and their commitment to the betterment of all Americans. Our vote, your vote, has the power to change lives, to uplift communities, and to fortify our nation. Together, we will build a future that surpasses the challenges we face. Together, we will ensure that the promises of yesterday become the realities of tomorrow. Together, we will prove that your vote was never taken lightly, but held with the utmost reverence and gratitude for the tremendous privilege it bestows upon us. Your vote matters, but do you? This is Johnny Walker. You can come and visit us at 3001 Thunder Road, Sunday mornings for worship at 10:30 a.m. Or you can just listen to us right here every Tuesday on Crazy Radio.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
AlamogordoTownNews.com is a locally owned website featuring local news matters from a local perspective that affects you, and we bring it to you directly. Plus, local sports, cultural arts, and events. Online, AlamogordoTownNews.com. Owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
Carlsbad mother Alexis Smith has been found guilty of not doing enough to protect her 12-year-old son Brent Sullivan from overdosing on fentanyl. Smith was found guilty by a jury of intentional child abuse resulting in death and one other count of child abuse. The jury determined that Smith knew her son was using drugs and had previously overdosed, but did nothing to stop him from continuing to use the deadly drug. A sentencing date has not yet been set. Smith's mother is facing similar charges. Bernalillo leaders are now calling for a special session focused on crime after the governor amended her gun violence public health order and said she would not call a special session.
Albuquerque can't wait any longer. We have people that go out to family outings and they don't know if they're going to get home safe, and that is completely unacceptable.
Albuquerque Councilwoman Brooke Bassan speaking with KRQE. Albuquerque City Councilors are urging the governor to take no actions that violate the constitutional rights of others. A committee within the House of Representatives met to vote on whether to condemn New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham yesterday. After surveying more than 500 likely voters in CD2, a KOB poll shows that the upcoming election is likely to be just as close as the last one. Yvette Harrell leads Gabe Vasquez by a single percentage point, 46 to 45%. 9% said they were not yet decided. The so-called unprecedented attempt to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border has allegedly had devastating effects on wildlife from which they may or may not recover. That's according to a New Mexico wildlife expert. More now from Roz Brown.
The Trump administration spent an estimated $15 billion constructing more than 400 miles of wall, much of which replaced smaller existing barriers. Brian Bird with Defenders of Wildlife says construction fragmented wildlife habitats and cut off species migration routes. Because geography and private land ownership in Texas and Arizona slowed the effort, Bird says much of what was only vehicle barrier in New Mexico is now permanent.
Unfortunately, New Mexico ended up getting the brunt of the border wall construction, and in fact, other than the boot heel most of the border between Mexico and New Mexico is walled now.
A recent report by the Government Accountability Office, a nonpartisan government watchdog, showed wall construction desecrated indigenous cultural sites, hurt wildlife, and destroyed vegetation. Bird says webcam feeds are now documenting how much more difficult the wall has made it for wildlife to cross the international border, where many species already were imperiled.
The ocelot, the Mexican gray wolf, the jaguar, the Cactus frugiens pygmy owl, all of these species are on the verge of extinction, and this border wall may have been the nail in the coffin.
Multiple erosion and flooding hazards were created by construction of the wall, which he says is already showing signs of deterioration.
Not only was it incredibly historically expensive and a burden on the taxpayer to build it, but now you got to maintain it. And if you do not spend a lot of money maintaining it, it's going to fall down.
The Biden administration has been criticized for floodgates being left open along the border wall, which allowed some illegal immigrants to enter. But the U.S. Border Patrol took responsibility, noting the gates have always been open during monsoon season to prevent flooding and keep the wall from falling over. I'm Roz Brown reporting.
Amazing that the border has been home to fencing and other fortifications for well over 100 years, but since the latest attempt has Trump's name attached, now there's an issue. But no Democrat has ever supported a physical construction along the border, have they?
And because of a corrupt system that exists in Mexico, there is the 1% of the population at the top, a very small middle class, and the rest is abject poverty. Folks, I voted for a fence. I voted for 700-mile fence. But let me tell you, we can build a fence 40 stories high unless you change the dynamic in Mexico and punish American employers who knowingly violate the law when in fact they hire illegals. Unless you do those two things, all the rest is window dressing. Now, I know I'm not supposed to say it that bluntly, but they're the facts.
That sounded like a Republican. Who was that? Joe who? Joe Biden? So leopards do change their spots. Rio Rancho High School has elected their homecoming court, and on it is senior Helen Sarmiento. She's 18 and has Down syndrome. She's always wanted to be crowned homecoming queen.
I will never take anything away from Helen. She has worked hard all of her life to prove for herself.
That's Helen's mother, Rachel Tabb, speaking with KOAT.
This is proof that there is still good in this world. This school has proven it. These kids have proven it. And kudos to their parents for raising kids to not shy away from anybody that's different from them.
Hey, no, I'm fine. It's just allergies. Sports and weather are next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
There are 47 matches for New Mexico volleyball today. Some of those include Hondo at Mescalero, Corona Vaughn at Fort Sumner House, Carrizozo at Lake Arthur, Capitan at Magdalena, Portales at Ruidoso, Loving at New Mexico Military Institute, Tularosa at Estancia, wow! Go Wildcats, Roswell at Alamogordo, go Coyotes. Hey, sorry, I was born and raised in Roswell. Fine. Go Tigers! Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies, mostly clear tonight, sunny tomorrow. Your high today in the basin, 88. Low tonight, 61. High tomorrow, 88 degrees. In Cloudcroft, sunny skies with winds gusting as high as 23 miles per hour today. Mostly clear tonight with winds gusting as high as 22. Mostly sunny tomorrow. Your high today for Cloudcroft, 67. Low tonight of 46. High tomorrow, 69 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, AlamogordoTownNews.com, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting KALHradio.org. We've also launched the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel, which features our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. We want to take a moment to thank those that have subscribed to our YouTube channel, and if you've not done so already, please do so. That way you too can be informed whenever news breaks. That concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.